Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Health Horizons, where we explore public wellness. I'm your host, and my name's Kara Showers. I work for the Melrose Health and Human Services Department, where I'm the Prevention and Wellness Coordinator. I have a master's degree in public health from BU. Go Terriers. I'm a certified health education specialist and have been in the field for almost 20 years. Yikes. But today I'm excited to chat with Amy from the Mass Council on Gaming and Health and with GameSense, and both Adam and Victor from Operation Hope. We are going to discuss responsible gambling and financial literacy. So nice big crew today. I want to thank everyone for joining us.
So glad to be here. Thanks, Kara.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
So our listeners may not know that the Massachusetts Gaming Commission awarded Melrose some grant money last year, and this money came from its Community Mitigation Fund. Our Health and Human Services Department is using its gambling harm reduction funding to do a few things. First of all, we want to try to find out more about youth gaming and sports betting habits, and also what our kiddos think about sports betting and gaming, so their perceptions. The second thing that this funding will help our department do is to implement evidence-based solutions, such as running a social norming campaign at probably the middle and the high schools here in Melrose. We are also able to train school staff who work with at-risk and current gambling students so that they can assist those students in hopefully making less risky choices as time goes on. We also are able to provide opportunities like today's podcast, for example, for all of our residents to learn more about financial literacy, to learn more about responsible gambling, and also to be able to access help resources when someone or their family or friend need those things. So I know these days, to me, it seems like there's gambling opportunities everywhere you turn. Sports betting, gaming, a lot of people are engaging in these activities because they're popular forms of entertainment, right? And for a lot of people, they are just social activities that have few negative effects. But yet for some, we know gambling can bring devastating consequences. Things like losses of property or career devastation, financial problems, just to name a few. So today, let's turn to the Mass Council on Gaming and Health first, and then Operation Hope second, to help us learn a little bit more about these topics. Amy,
thanks, Kara.
I think I'll turn it over to you.
Again, My name is Amy. It's really a pleasure to join you today and get to chat with you and your audience. And you're not wrong. You are correct. Gambling can stay fun for a lot of people. It's recreational. They go have a good time. But to your point, we do know that it can cause harm and sometimes significant harm to people, especially, like you said, nowadays with legalized gambling expanding and exploding, in recent years, say the last 10 years, including the vast popularity of sports wagering, especially online. It's definitely important to let folks know what supports are out there, what resources are out there, because people don't often know. So again, my name is Amy Gabrilla. I am the Director of Player Health at the Massachusetts Council on Gaming and Health. I have been in this job along with the GameSense program for about 10 years now. And quickly, just a little background previous to that, I have been in the gaming industry for a total of 28 years. So again, Kara, we're aging ourselves.
I know. You have me beat though.
Right now. Oh, that makes me crazy to even think about. So my first 18 years were spent in the industry. So I worked as a gaming employee, everything from a table games dealer to a shift manager. So my background is definitely there. And then moved into the Mass Council on Gaming and Health space. So the Mass Council is a nonprofit public health organization. It was started, it's almost as old as me. It got started in 1983 by a gentleman named Tom Cummings. And Tom basically wanted to provide resources and support for people who were struggling with gambling, as he did himself. He was in gambling recovery. The council has continued to grow over these past 42, 43 years. We proudly offer a wide range of programs, services, and supports for anyone impacted by gambling. So not just gamblers, but affected others, family and friends. Education, treatment, and advocacy are priorities. And we've developed several prevention and intervention strategies for all kinds of folks, clinicians, gaming industry stakeholders, policymakers, professionals, and the public. We've consulted with over 50 operators worldwide, dozens of states, advocated for and secured tens of millions of dollars in funding for player health and problem gambling initiatives, and we've partnered up with dozens of research groups. So definitely an impressive group, and I am honored to be a part of it. One of the programs that the Mass Council on Gaming and Health operates is the GameSense program. Now, at the risk of sounding biased, this is simply a fantastic and innovative program. As somebody who's worked in this industry for as long as I have, it is just great to see a program like GameSense take shape and evolve and become a reality in the industry. It's amazing. GameSense started in British Columbia in Canada, and it was adopted by the Mass Gaming Commission when expanded gaming came to Mass. And the GameSense program is run by the Mass Council, and it is a comprehensive, gambling-neutral player health program that's designed essentially to empower people to make good, informed choices about their gambling. That's really our goal. And by gambling neutral, I mean that we are neither for or against legalized gambling. A large number of our staff actually come from the industry like I do, so we have a vast knowledge of and experience with gambling, the industry itself, and gamblers. We have been around gamblers. We know how they think. GameSense is a harm reduction model, which means that we get that people are going to gamble. All right, this is an activity that, like we've said, people enjoy. And it can be a lot of fun for some people, but we know that with any risky behavior, that there can be harm. And so, getting people to understand the nature of their behavior, having healthy beliefs about it, and making, knowledgeable and informed decisions is a good thing. So that is really what GameSense is aiming to do. We're doing that in a knowledgeable and judgment-free way. We're never forcing folks to do things. We are just going to talk to them about evidence-based information and strategies, and we're going to leave people to make their own decisions. We're going to meet people where they're at. And one of the cool things that I love doing with GameSense involves gambling literacy. Make sure people actually understand how their favorite games work, the odds, the probabilities of winning, how games are structured and programmed, and making sure that we dispel any myths and misconceptions people have about gambling. Because believe me, there are a lot that have grown over the decades. So many people engage in gambling without really understanding, what is a game of chance? How does it actually work? And really, what are some of the ways that our brains as humans, we will have incorrect thought processes, cognitive distortions about gambling. How do those things affect what we do? Maybe how long we gamble, what we're gambling on, our beliefs about our chances of winning. So how do these distortions in thinking affect us? As a matter of fact, one of these is named after gamblers, the gambler's fallacy. It happens so much that it's named after gamblers. Why do we form these thoughts? How do they influence things? And making sure people understand how that's working. As a quick example, so you can see this kind of like in a live situation in a casino, you might have a roulette player. They're watching the game. They notice that 10 red numbers have come up in a row. That's a lot. And they look at it, And it makes them believe, by seeing that long streak, that pattern, it makes them believe that a black number is more likely to come up next. Now, we're always looking for patterns because we're human. We want things to make sense. We want to be able to anticipate the next events. But the truth is, with gambling, with roulette, with a game of chance, each spin is random. All those previous red numbers mean nothing. The next spin, a red or a black number, has the same probability of hitting as it did before. But again, sometimes we see these things and we think things that are incorrect. So it's fun to talk to people about that stuff. We have conversations with guests. We use games, quizzes, activities to educate and engage. All of our materials are based on, player health perspectives and gambling literacy. We are welcoming to everybody. We are for everyone, whether you're a first-time gambler, you're a young kid, this first time in a casino, or you've been playing for 50 years. Whether you play for fun, you're not experiencing any harm, or whether you would like to talk about some problem gambling resources, we are here for everyone. We also partner with operators and community groups to build awareness, like today. And the last thing I would say is, and it's very important, if somebody does start experiencing harm, they're feeling this, we are there for them. GameSense staff enrolls people in the mass voluntary self-exclusion program, as well as we will connect people to problem gambling resources if they want that. And what we really want people to understand is, have fun with this. If you decide that at any point that's not working, you're experiencing harm, there is help and there is hope, and we will be there for you. Awesome. Thank you, Kara.
Oh, thanks, Amy. That was great. I loved the example of, playing roulette and getting, seeing your brain seeing those 10 red numbers and thinking, well, it's got to be black next. But you guys kind of are able to dispel some of those myths or kind of like games our brains play on us and kind of work through that with individuals. So that's really awesome. And just to clarify, so GameSense is at casinos for people who say, yes, I want to have some restrictions on my play because I am worried about it. You guys are there to help that person in the moment?
Absolutely. Okay. So GameSense operates out of all 3 casinos. And yes, somebody can come to us and say, listen, I need to take a little break. I thought this was okay, but I'm coming here too often maybe, or I'm spending a little too much. Is there any way that I can make it so I can take a break from the casinos in Massachusetts? And absolutely, we are there to walk them through that process and enroll them in the Massachusetts Voluntary Self-Exclusion Program. It's often the first step that folks will take when they've realized that maybe they're experiencing a little bit of harm. And to your point, Kara, being in the casinos is important. We do operate in different environments as well, but the fact that we're in the casinos live, when somebody is coming off the gaming floor and they've just lost a lot of money or they've spent too much time here, in that moment of potential crisis, we can be there for them immediately and take care of them in that moment rather than having to have them maybe leave. Now as humans, now we have time to think about things. We're very good at justifying things to ourselves. Being there in that moment is important, to take care of them before they can maybe think about it too much. So that's awesome that we're there for that. Yes. But you can also do this exclusion remotely. So you can take care of a voluntary self-exclusion at all 3 casinos in Mass with a GameSense advisor, but it can also be completed remotely with a GameSense advisor, which is also important. So if you're somebody sitting at home, you want to go to the casino, you don't want to go there to have to be able to do an exclusion. We don't want that to trigger somebody. So we make this available remotely as well, and it's available 24/7. So whether it's 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 9 in the morning, you can enroll remotely with a GameSense advisor for the voluntary self-exclusion 24 hours a day by accessing either our live chat, which you can find on the GameSenseMA.com website, or by calling 1-800-426-1234. Both of those will directly connect you to a GameSense advisor to assist you. And right now, we have about 2,200 people enrolled in the program. And again, we can connect folks to additional supports if desirable. To go along with the exclusion, we offer a follow-up call, which is awesome. And what that is, it can be a text, an email, or a call. And that's from a certified peer specialist. So that's somebody in recovery who has lived experience that's meant to check in on a new enrollee about a week after they sign up. And just check on them, see if there's any resources they can connect with them. How are you doing? How are you handling not being in the casinos? We want to give people as much support as possible. We also offer telephone recovery support, which is basically a longer version of that. If somebody does the follow-up call and it really helped them, they can sign up to be contacted on a regular basis. And that's offered by the Mass Council. So that's an amazing thing too. And if anybody has any questions about voluntary self-exclusion, how it works, they can contact GameSense at any time.
Awesome. We will definitely link like the website you mentioned, the number, and all of this stuff on this podcast. And so people can easily access that, which will be great. I love that like peer-to-peer model, especially like someone's feeling so vulnerable and like there's a safety net there, either if it's at the casino or online and you are talking to someone who has been where you're sitting at that moment. That's huge. And that helps probably these 2,200 plus people in the program stay enrolled and keep staying on the path to reducing harm. So thanks, Amy. That was really helpful.
Thank you.
So turning over to Adam to get into what Operation Hope is. Love to hear from you.
Absolutely, Kara. Thank you for having us. Operation Hope is a national nonprofit dedicated to economic empowerment, financial literacy, and financial dignity. We work to equip individuals and communities with the knowledge, tools, and support they need to take control of their financial futures and live the lives they want to live responsibly and with the future in mind. A key part of what we do is partnering with community organizations, including the Massachusetts Council on Gaming and Health and GameSense, to ensure that people have the resources they need to make sound financial decisions, understand risks, and build strong financial habits. We also recognize that financial health is the foundation for making responsible choices, whether it's planning for home ownership, paying down debt, investing in the future, or deciding how to budget for entertainment expenses like gambling. So at Operation Hope, we emphasize that responsible gambling is not just about setting limits. It's about understanding your financial situation, making intentional choices, and aligning spending with long-term financial goals. That's where financial literacy plays a huge role. I mean, when people understand the importance of budgeting, saving, and managing debt, they can make informed decisions about discretionary spending, including how much they can responsibly set aside for entertainment, just like dining out or traveling. So financial coaches like Victor and I, we help individuals create plans that work for their unique situations, ensuring that their financial goals support their goals rather than compromise them.
Great, Adam. That's really good info, good overview on what Operation Hope is all about. As we're wrapping up today's podcast, any final thoughts on what someone should do if they feel a loved one has a gambling problem, or they do want to follow up with financial guidance or coaching? If you guys could just state your resources again, maybe I'll have Amy start and then we'll turn it over to Victor.
Sure. So first thing I want to acknowledge is, listen, both gamblers and loved ones of gamblers, when they're confronted with harm, can often feel hopeless and can be unsure of what support is out there and how to access it. There are options. We want to make sure people understand, there definitely is hope here. There's support available. There's actually many resources. One great one is gamblinghelplinemass.org. Again, gamblinghelplinemass.org. It's a fantastic, comprehensive site. They offer a list of certified treatment providers, as well as peer recovery support options. And just so people know, because this can often be a barrier to treatment, those clinicians, those treatment providers are often either free or work on a sliding scale. So check them out. Not having insurance or feeling like you might not be able to afford it, please check it out, because often we can work things out there. The site also offers gambling screens. You can connect to the MA PG Helpline directly from there, either by phone, text, or chat. And there's a lot of other supports, multiple peer support groups, including Gamblers Anonymous and Agamanon, both 12-step fellowship programs. They have pretty comprehensive lists of online meetings, phone meetings, and there are some in-person meetings, but I will say that those are happening less now, but there are some. People can check out those websites. Smart Recovery is another peer support option, and they have an extensive list of meetings. This group comes from a CBT strategy approach, and they offer services and support to people with many addiction challenges, not just gambling. And they also have support for friends and family. Again, there's lots of websites, Gamblers in Recovery, Recovery Road Online. They provide meetings, stories of hope, access to hundreds of recorded speakers. And for, the newer crowd, the younger folks, which probably everybody's younger than me, podcasts are a big thing now. There are plenty of gambling podcasts available. Some are general, some focus on specific experience, like for women or for veterans, but there's a lot of stuff available. And if people want more information on any of that, they can certainly, again, feel free, to get in contact with us at GameSense. And clearly, if somebody is looking for any kind of financial support or coaching, please reach out to our fabulous friends at Operation Hope.
Awesome. Victor, do you want to pop in about, what you guys can do at Operation Hope?
Yeah, thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate the referral. Yes, it's for those folks, those individuals who need financial guidance and coaching. Operation Hope offers no-cost financial coaching and resources to help individuals get on track. Our programs focus on one-on-one financial coaching to create customized financial plans. We also do credit and money management workshops to improve financial well-being. We also do strategies for debt reduction, savings, and financial goal setting. So if you or anyone wants to gain control of their finances, make more informed decisions, or recover from financial challenges, you can visit us at operationhope.org to find resources and connect with me or Adam or any of our financial coaches across the country.
Great. Wow. I feel like reassured. There's just so much out there to be able to get help and support. And I knew of a few of these things before talking to you guys, but I'm so glad there's a plethora of stuff out there that all sorts of people could access. And hopefully today we can kind of be that bridge to more community members getting these resources in their home and for their loved ones. So that's all the time we have for today. And I just really want to thank you, Amy and Victor and Adam. We really appreciate the Mass Council on Gaming and Health, GameSense, and Operation Hope. You guys are stellar public health partners. And of course, thanks to all the folks at MMTV who always help us with the podcast. So until next time, be well, take it easy. Thank you.